Welcome everybody back to Extreme Off-Road Silly Bills, and today we're dealing with a 1982 DeLorean DMC-12. Now this is 1,265 horsepower, 1,088 pounds-feet of torque from a 7.4 litre twin turbocharged V8 engine. The car itself now weighs 2,653 pounds, has off-road tyres, all-wheel drive and off-road suspension, and it can now do 0 to 60 in 3.059 seconds. 0 to 100 in 6.441 seconds, and going to a top speed of 175 miles an hour. Now obviously we've seen what this car can do on how fast will it go, with nearly 2,000 horsepower. I have purposefully kept the top speed quite low down, just so we're not, going ludicrously quick, because obviously this car with even more power can go really rather fast. So yeah, we kept it at 175 with a 7-speed gearbox, just to give it a little bit of controllability, but obviously we could have gone even more powerful, but I feel like even nearly 1,300 horsepower is asking a lot from this car. So yeah, as you can see by the stats, the speed, the acceleration, the launch and the off-road capabilities, and sort of the braking are okay. The handling though is a little bit on the low side, and yeah, the fact it's rear engine with a much larger engine now is yeah, a bit concerning, but still it should hopefully do well. It's got big fat off-road tyres now, front and rear, a lot wider than they would have been normally on the car with the normal road tyres, so hopefully they'll give us some of the grip that we need. But yeah, I'm not expecting this to be quick, to be honest, but it is going to be interesting to see what it can do in comparison to the other cars that we've had on this series so far. Because yeah, this is the 9th car that we've had so far, and yeah, hopefully it's going to be good. Now one thing it will have on its side is the fact that it's got no real weight up front. Obviously it's got a little bit of extra weight than it would originally due to the all-wheel drive system, but it's, yeah, there's no engine up there, so it should hopefully be a little bit more agile up front than some cars that we've had on this series. Obviously we had the McLaren, which also didn't have an engine up front, but that is a mid-engine car, whereas this is a rear engine, so the bias front to rear is a lot more on this than that car. So yeah, hopefully that'll play in its favour. Certainly no slouch in terms of acceleration, even though obviously it's not the fastest it could go in terms of 0 to 60 or 0 to 100 time because of the gearing that I've chosen, but still just over 3 seconds is hardly slow. It's quicker than a lot of supercars these days. It's quite a heavy hit there. Clearly the off-road / rally suspension there taking the most of that. Whoa! So yeah, I really do like this course. I know it's probably a little bit long in comparison to the previous one, but I do prefer it. I think it's a little bit more technical. Got way better views as well, by the way. Yeah, I just prefer the technical aspects to it, and I think it's not particularly all that much slower. I mean, I doubt we're going to get to the same kind of high speeds as the previous course, because I think we're getting north of 160 at times. And obviously at the final straight on the tarmac we were obviously going nearly 200 mile an hour with certain cars, but yeah, I just like the fact that we don't have any tarmac to deal with, so it is a proper off-road course, and it does remind me of the kind of like downhill stages on some rally, proper world rally stages, as well as obviously the likes of the dirt games. So yeah, I do like that aspect going for it, and yeah, this car's dealing with this okay so far. Handling is not as bad as I was fearing. It's not brilliant, but the fact that it's able to turn in quite well is of benefit. Will we beat the GMC Jimmy, which is surprisingly the fastest car I've had on this series so far? Because, yeah, that was remarkably quick. Final corner. we're going to do it. I think we might. What was the DMC Jimmy? The DMC Jimmy was 3 minutes 25.247. So yeah, the DMC DeLorean has actually beaten the GMC Jimmy, which is surprising because obviously this was not an off-road car. It wasn't even really a sports car, even though it was billed as one. And yeah, we were more than a second quicker than the GMC Jimmy, which I thought would last a little bit longer, being an off-road vehicle with really high suspension and all-wheel drive as standard. But yeah, this rather crummy sports car, or a rather crummy excuse for a sports car, was yeah, remarkably quicker. And maybe the fact it doesn't weigh very much, it's less than 2,700 pounds. It's not got really any weight up front, so it's got really good turning, and it's really rather agile in that regard. Kind of helped it. And yeah, maybe the gearing that I chose as well was a good idea, because it's gets through those gears really quickly, gets to its 7th gear no time at all. And yeah, even though it's only got a low top speed of 175 miles an hour, it's more likely to get there than a car doing 220 or so. So yeah, really impressed by that. I'm really surprised by it. It just goes to show that a car standard is never necessarily going to be as slow as you expect when upgraded. Because yeah, some cars have been really rather slow in normal version, and then been rather slow in upgraded version as well, in the case of the Renault 4L for instance. But this has bucked that trend. So yeah, really impressed, and yeah, be interesting to see what beats this car. Nonetheless, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.